up, Taiwan? I'm Reece Ayers with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. A deadly earthquake shook Taiwan on Wednesday morning. The 7.2 magnitude tremor centered on the east coast has killed at least 9 people, with the death toll expected to rise. Footage taken from locations across Taiwan shows the violent tremor triggering landslides and shaking bridges and buildings. A series of aftershocks continued for several hours after the first quake. At least 2 structures in Hualien have partially collapsed. Rescue work is ongoing to free over 100 people trapped in buildings and tunnels. It's the biggest tremor to hit Taiwan since a quake in 1999 that killed over 2,400 people. Taiwan's military has mobilized to assist with earthquake relief efforts. The military has set up an emergency command center and dispatched its Vice Chief of General Staff to Hualien to coordinate relief efforts with local governments. Though efforts are being led by local fire departments and reserve forces, military personnel will remain on standby to provide assistance and equipment, especially during nighttime operations. The Defense Ministry also said that 6 F-16 and 2 F-5 fighters suffered minor damage during the quake, just scratches to their fuselage, adding that the planes can be repaired immediately and they remain combat ready. The Transportation Ministry is arranging a ferry service to shuttle people stuck behind landslides along Taiwan's east coast following Wednesday morning's earthquake. Sally Jensen is at the port where the ship will depart.
It's now all hands on deck to get a city of 100,000 people reconnected on the eve of a major national holiday. Hualien on Taiwan's mountainous east coast has been effectively isolated after a huge earthquake caused landslides that blocked the main highway in from the capital, Taipei. The country's Ministry of Transportation has arranged an emergency ferry to start taking vehicles from Suao, which is about 70 kilometers north of Hualien. They've opened for registration on Wednesday afternoon, around 7 hours after the first quake struck at 8 in the morning. The ship's expected to arrive from Taipei at 7 p.m.
还有旅客要登记往花莲的车辆吗？
因为今天有地震，然后宜兰到花莲的交通已经阻断了，我想办法把我的车先运回去花莲，因为目前交通不是很顺，所以我就是希望能回去一个是一个。那我有上网查到资讯，这边有在帮忙托运汽车，所以我就主动打电话询问确认是正确的资讯之后，就开来做托运这样。
The ferries will start taking cars on Thursday and foot passengers on Friday, but with a major public holiday underway and transportation links across the East Coast closed, many will be wondering how long it will be before they can get home. Andy Sher and Sally Jensen in Yilan County for TaiwanPlus.
A magnitude 7.2 earthquake off Taiwan's eastern coast Wednesday morning has left the country's rescue agencies scrambling. At least 9 people were dead by Wednesday night, and dozens remain trapped in collapsed tunnels and damaged buildings. Tiffany Wong reports.
A deadly earthquake rocked Taiwan's east coast early on Wednesday, causing landslides and damaging buildings and roads. Measuring 7.2, it's the strongest quake to hit the country in 25 years.
倒了，房子倒了，歪了，房子歪了。
我没办法，东西全部掉下来，全部房屋的全部塌了，塌下来了。
这真的超级可怕！我真的要吓死了！我真的要吓死了！
At least 9 people are known to have died and hundreds are wounded. Evacuation efforts are underway as damaged roads and collapsed tunnels block the most direct routes to the epicenter in Hualien. Rescue teams are going by air or around the island, taking highways from the south to reach those in the worst affected areas. Rescue ferries will also depart from the east coast to help with evacuations. Taiwan's Vice President Lai Ching-te went to Hualien to inspect the damage.
目前最重要、最优先的就是救人，抢救为最优先的。我们必须要仔细的是盘查，还有多少人受困。
But some lawmakers are dissatisfied with the government's response, saying that an early earthquake warning should have gone out before the disaster.
我刚刚开车来台北的路上，因为地震而停车，可是旁边问旁边的人说都没有警报这回事。
我也没有，那当然这个我觉得我可能也是国家级的边缘人吧。
Authorities say they're investigating what went wrong with the alert system.
因为是预报，所以是电脑系统它直接会跑，好，因为那个时间非常非常的短。那这个地震的资讯一进去之后，它会做一个预测，然后会在最短的时间去发送这个警告值。我想这部分气象署会进行相关的一个检讨。
The death toll is expected to rise, and people could remain stranded for days. All focus is now on rescue efforts, but government authorities will also have to grapple with how to prepare for another disaster like this one. Howard Zhang and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Wednesday's earthquake may have slowed investigations into an outbreak of deadly food poisoning in Taipei. The outbreak at the restaurant Polam Kopitiam left at least 2 dead and dozens more ill. Investigators recently searched the home of one of the restaurant's chefs for traces of the toxin at the center of the outbreak, called bongrechic acid. However, the lab processing the samples lost power during Wednesday's earthquake. The outage may force the lab to restart testing from scratch, and it's unclear whether the results will be available within the week. A former Yilan district attorney has been punished for improperly dropping 2 cases. He's got a long record of misconduct. Irene Lin reports.
An unjust justice enforcer. That's the conclusion reached by Taiwan's disciplinary court about former district attorney Wu Zhichen, who is being punished over 2 cases he closed improperly. That's a tiny fraction of the nearly 100 other cases he allegedly closed without following regulations.
顾卷内的证据资料，依检察官的法律专业知识，明显可以判断被告是有犯罪嫌疑，有继续侦查的必要，竟然违反他自别案件签结的规定，屡次想签结该两案。
Wu, who has resigned as prosecutor, was found to have arbitrarily closed 2 cases in Yilan County in northeastern Taiwan without considering solid evidence and testimony. He also ignored his superior's request to resume investigations. The court's ruling will cost him 6 months of salary. Wu has challenged the decision in court 3 times. He lost 1 case, and the others are still being heard. Wu has a long history of professional misconduct, having been impeached by the top government watchdog organization. And he's not the only problematic prosecutor. In recent years, there have been several prosecutors accused of misconduct in their professional and private lives, including some caught in a series of Me Too scandals. Legal activists say the problem goes up the judicial hierarchy.
问题就出在于检察长或这些有权力的人，他们不愿意去发动去处理这个有问题的人，那导致于说，这个案件最后才爆发成这样子，然后很严重。
Right now, there is no mechanism in Taiwan's legal system to remove misbehaving prosecutors from their posts. They only get periodic evaluations. Legal reformers have seen progress in making the prosecution process in court more transparent. But they're calling for change to the disciplinary law in the hope that will help keep law enforcement officers in check. Dolphin Chen and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's Latin dance team made a powerful showing at the first Choreographic World Championship in Spain, nabbing gold and silver medals in both solo and team categories. Solo dancer Liu Qing bagged 4 gold medals, while the ensemble team earned 1 silver. The 10-member student team was the only one from Asia, and an official from Taiwan says they came together just 1 month before the competition to begin training, using their free time after school. The dancers say the competition itself was very demanding.
早上5点就起来化妆，然后很累，对，很累。比赛都蛮密集的，到晚上才有躺下来一下下。
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today we bring you this footage of the moment the 7.2 magnitude earthquake hit Taiwan. I'm Reece. Stay safe and see you next time.